Shalom. Allah start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Harakah, Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the Ophalet that's pushing his truth across four corners of the earth and all faith, truth, and sincerity. This I'm on the Bob back again to sitting. This one going to about the things that's going on right now. The situation with Iran, the U.S., war, and the escalation of, that's going to escalate, into World War III. It's going to escalate to that, this situation that's going on, but you got situations going on right now with the so-called white people, red devil Edomites. They starting to come at you so-called Negro, Latino natives, you Israelites. They start to target Israel right now, the Israelites, the true people of the Lord, the chosen people of the Lord, the so-called Negro, Latino natives. These Edomite doubles, they coming. They're coming for you so-called Negro, Latino natives, the Israelites. We're not in the time, and I say in the time that we're in right now, we're not in the time of having fun, partying, bullshitting right now. These are serious times ahead right now. And it's really time for so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites to really get, focused and serious and know what's going on around you. Pay attention to your surroundings. These red devil Edomites, they don't give a damn about you so-called Negro, Latino natives. You start seeing they talking crazy. You see the Edomite devil started talking crazy or whatever, where it may be. Prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? Prepare yourself now. But you can still gonna have Jake out here want to still party and bullshit, have fun till, hey, the Edomite doubles, they just, start doing shit, man. They start doing whatever, cause they hate you. That hatred is there in the Edomite doubles, so-called white people, red people, man. That's your enemy. The so-called white man, which really they red and ain't white. They're red devil, because their blood show forth through their skin. They red. They're the Edomites of the Bible. And you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino natives, which are y'all the Israelites. Y'all gotta know that's your enemy. We have enemies. Stop being fucking, excuse my language, stop being slow and wake up. It's time to wake up, man. It's not a game going forward. Pay attention to what's going on around you, man. But like I said, you're gonna have 2/3 Israelites. They it's like things gonna be right in front of them, but they still not gonna take it serious, man. So they just gonna be caught up in the judgment of Lord Yahweh Yahushua. Only the elect of the so-called Negro, Latino natives is gonna be, serious in these times, and have a serious mindset, knowing the times, right now, the serious times that it is. Excuse me, serious times that it is right now. This ain't the time of gathering and having fun and having family reunions and all that. Which I'm gonna get a video about. It was a situation that happened. But like I said, we ain't in the time of that right now, man. But I'm reading some start off the scripture, man. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there's a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So everything, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, right? So I'm gonna skip on down, but I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna go down. I'm just gonna get to the point. Let me see. Yeah, so Ecclesiastes 3:8. A time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So that's a time for everything, right? There's some more, but I want to go through right here. Just focus on 3 and 8. It's a time to love and it's a time to hate. We ain't in a time of love right now. We ain't in a time of, get together and love and gather around right now. Have fun, whatever like that. It's a time, and it's a time to hate. We in a time of hate, man. These Edomite devils, these so-called white people, red Edomite devils, they hate you Israelites, man. So-called Negro Latinos. Y'all gotta wake up, man. We in a time of let's all come together in love, man. Forget all that. That's not the time we in right now. You gotta know what's going on, in the spirit, especially being the spirit lawyer Yahweh Bashem Shah. If you're not in the spirit lawyer Yahweh Bashem Shah, then you just blind, man. You so-called Negro Latino, y'all in that delusional mindset. But that's the lawyer Yahweh Shah got y'all in that. So hey, you get be caught up. You get caught up in the judgment that's gonna come upon you. A lot of you, what I'm saying, Israelites out here still partying, bushing, and playing around. Hey man, when the Edomite devils like, or the UN troops come in with how it come about, the judgment Lord y'all about to try to creep up on you, man. It'll be too late because you wasn't paying attention what's going on, especially right now. The serious times is right now and going forward, man. Ain't no time of playing games. Ain't no time of having fun. But 2/3, they're gonna do it. Hopefully, I'm probably right number, of the elect. That Lord Yahweh Bashem shall have mercy upon me. But man, a lot of these, a lot of Jake out here, they just don't know what's going on, man. Until something, major happens, you know what I'm saying, or like I say, these Edomite doubles, they just show you. They're gonna start showing they're showing it now, but it's gonna escalate to where they're not gonna care who they come at you so-called Negro Latinos. They're gonna do what the fuck they want to do. Show you that they don't give a fuck about you. Excuse my language. That's why you gotta prepare and know what's going on around you, man. But a time of war. I say we in a time of war. It's a time of war and a time of peace. We're not a time of peace. We're in a time of war. We in a time of war. These Edomite devils. They like the scripture say. Hey, the devils will come down. Come down with a great wrath. These Edomite devils ain't playing around, man. They know their time, their rulership is coming to an end, man. So you so-called Negro Latinos, y'all better wake up, man. Enough of this back and forth bickering about nothing, man, on social media, man. Man, start talking about something that's gonna, really, you really ain't gotta talk about it. Just prepare, secretly, or understand, like, hey, get prepared, cause these watch out for these white people, cause these red devils, man, they coming at us. But hey, hey man, but Lord Yahweh Shah, hey, he gotta wake Judah up, man. He gotta get Judah, he gotta get Judah, amped up, angry, get out of the comfortable mindset of, sitting back or whatever. Lord finna get Judah. Lord finna get Judah to, hey, it's time to, get up. You ain't a time of resting right now. It's time of war. It's time to fight. Ain't no time to be sitting back, relaxing. This world, the so-called white man, Esau, my words, finna be destroyed by Lord Yahweh when he returns. This place is finna be, most of the cities of America, Babylon Great, finna be on blaze before Lord Yahweh even return. The scriptures go into that. You gonna have cities already on fire before Lord Yahweh come. The fire is already gonna be kindled before he even returns. That's the times that we're heading into, man, going forward, man. Ain't no good times ahead, man. So I'm gonna go from there, man. So I just want to start off there. So I'm gonna get a couple of videos about what's been going on. So I'm gonna just play these two videos on TikTok. Play this one.
A Lee County family is speaking out, recalling the terrifying moments when they say a man armed with an AR-style rifle opened fire on their family reunion. And thank you for joining us at 5 o'clock. I'm Greg Lloyd.
And I'm Carla Heath Sands.
Now, that shooting happened Sunday evening on Autumn Leaf Drive in Leesburg. The Lee County Sheriff's Office says Jeffrey Tyler Kinzer shot at partygoers after a verbal altercation occurred. No one in the family was reportedly injured, and Kinzer was shot after a family member returned fire.
He was charged with aggravated assault. WALB News 10's Mariah Norman sits down with a witness who says their family was racially targeted.
This family says they were celebrating a birthday and spending time together before a man they identify as a...
So, there's some more of a report. I mean, that's all they show right there. Let's just go to show you right here. These so-called white people eating my doubles, man. This is in Lee County. This is in Lee County. Is it Georgia?
Stay.
Okay. Well, yeah, Leesburg, Georgia. Excuse me. Leesburg, Georgia. Leesburg, Georgia. So Lee County, as I say, but you had that Edomite man. He was, talking crazy. It was another video that went into it, but he was talking crazy to to a Jake family, to so-called Negro family, but it's a Jake family. He was talking all crazy, he was saying all kind of, racial things, whatever, right? Saying all things to him. They was annoying him, They weren't even giving no attention, But he came back, and he bought the AR-15, started shooting at him, So that's what I'm saying, man. The Edomite doubles. Like I say, Jake, don't get me wrong. You move to these, these areas where where these Edomites said, it's a nice neighborhood, whatever. But now, in these times, they, like I say, man, these Edomite doubles start showing their hatred towards you. They gonna be like, nigger, you know how to be, like that, that hatred is coming out. It's coming out, man. That hatred that been dormant, back in the 1950s, the 40s, the time of slavery and all that, the civil rights movement, when they was beating Jake across the head down here in Birmingham, the history of that, and so forth, and other, down south, states, and down here in the south, man, Jacob, the Israelites, so-called Negro Latino natives and the Edomites, so-called white people, red people, Edomites, man, been butting heads, down here in the south, stay butting, it's just. It got kind of dormant, after the civil rights movement, whatever, like that. The Edomite doubles, they cooled down a little, But now we in the times where they ride, they coming, they getting that anger back or that hatred towards you, so-called Negro Latino natives, which are the Israelites, That's coming, it's coming out, right? That hatred, man. And that's why I say in the times right now, we in a time of war, man. We in a time of hate and war, man. We in a time of having fun, partying, and because when you're not knowing the times, you still want to have fun and think that everything gonna be okay, then you're not gonna be prepared with what's coming around the corner. Oh, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know they're gonna go this crazy. Because you wasn't in the spirit of Lord Yahweh Shai, first foremost, but just knowing the time, just knowing like, hey, it's something, it's just. You just not paying attention, like, what's going on around you. Some people just be so delusional, naive, they just think that, hey, everything is just gonna be the same. It's not. It's gonna be all out chaos here in America, Babylon the Great. It's gonna get ugly, man. you know. But so I'm gonna go to another video. So this is so I'm gonna get this. You know what happened in Chicago, right? This burning cross. See who was. What video was it? I had it. I'm trying to look for the guy that was talking about it, but I don't even see it no more. I just had it. Not him. Slocky. I'm trying to find the one. There's a Jake talking about it. Like he went into it. Right here.
Trigger warning. Grant Park. Look at that picture, bro. You got a big ass flag. Cross that's out there burning, bro. And these black people, they're so distraught. And to see this in 2026, this is what they said, is disturbing. Man, when did you think that these people gave a damn about you, man? Racism ain't went nowhere, and it ain't going nowhere. These people gonna tell you ain't no racism. Who believes that? Are you that green that you don't believe with these people like you? They love you, bro. Y'all need to stop that shit. Some of y'all.
Man, you right. It's like, you so-called Negro, Latino, and natives. You so-called Negro, Latinos, and natives. Y'all better wake up. You so-called white people, eating my devils, don't give a fuck about you. You know, they don't give a damn. You know, this system is against us. You know. And the situation with the Carmelo Anthony, and so forth. It's just Jake in general, being, when they in that courthouse, man, you really the odds against you. You could be all the evidence could point to you being, innocent. You didn't do a crime or whatever it may be. But in this system, it don't matter. When you're right, you still wrong in this system. Or these so-called white people, Esau and my devil system, man. This is their world. This is their rule. And that's why, like, I'll say this, like, that's why, though the men of the Lord, the apostles, and the elders, and the elders of Brother Graham and Stone, the men of the Lord that teaches truth. That's why, they say, and say that we need Howard Shah. We need Howard Shah to return to take down these so-called white people eating my devils. Because anything we try to do, as far as like, hey, we could try to beat them at their law or whatever it may be. And I'm not saying that it don't work. It don't work. Sometimes it do, but sometimes it don't. It's like I said, everything is against us in this system. I'm talking about so-called Negro, Latino, natives. Ain't nothing. It's nothing here for us to like really hope for. It's like you on edge, because of these so-called white people. You saw them like those when they unrighteous decrees and laws, man. And then like I say, they hate you. They do all this stuff to you, and then they do stuff to you, but they don't get no type of harsh sentence, or time. They'll get off hard scot-free. But Jake, so-called Negro, Latino, natives, Israelites, they'll do something, and like I say, they have all the evidence of showing they did not do this, whatever it might be falsely accused, whatever, but still get locked up in the prison, and for a long time, for a long sentence. Man, I say, man, these Edomites don't care about y'all. Stop being buddy with the Edomites, man. Don't be making friends with these so-called white people, red devil, man. Fuck. Excuse my language. I'm sorry, man. I'm like, man, this is we in the time we goddamn, what I'm saying? Hey, being buddy and this and that, man. That shit over with, bro. Jake gotta be like in a mindset of seriousness and a tough mindset right now, man, and not being that carefree type shit mindset. Forget all that, man. Understand the times and know what's going on. Serious times, man. But play the rest of the video.
I live in the uppity. Yeah, but there's a whole lot of people that's living Downey. But that racism ain't going nowhere, bro. This shit ain't never going nowhere till it's over. Of course they did that shit in the broad daylight because they think they got privileges. Who gonna do something about it? Whatever happens to these people? Nothing. Keep watching your news, man. They don't give a damn about you.
You're right, you know. And I said that cross. Like I said, I'm not speculating. I don't know, it could be a Ku Klux Klan or what. But you know, those burning crosses is always like a sign of, you know, with them damn Edomite doubles, hatred, towards you Jakes. You know, it's always like, when they do that, like a scare tactic or whatever, right? So, because back in times of, civil rights and slavery, all that, the burning cross and all that stuff like that. So, Jay knows all the shit, these fuckers, man, they finna, they finna come through or whatever, they finna do something, they planning something, whatever, right? So that's why, hey, you so-called Negro Latinos, hey, man, y'all better wake up, man. Know who your enemy is, man. But I say the elect of the so-called Negro Latino Israelites gonna be serious in the spirit of Lord Yahweh Shai, and just be prepared, be prepared as you can, know what's going on and not be naive, delusional, knowing the times. Hey, this ain't the time to be partying and having fun right now, man. It's a time to be knowing what's going on around you, man, at all times, man. That goes for me first and foremost, but I'm gonna go from there to see what I want to get. So let's see. So that's it on there. I'll get the scripture. Get another scripture. I'm going to let's see what it was. Excuse me. Yeah, that's the one I want to go on to. Hold up. Had it. I'm gonna do it again. Slocky, forgive me. So yeah, so I'm gonna get real quick. I'm gonna get Genesis 49:9. See, I want to go to back. Okay. So this Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art gone up. He stooped it down. He crouched it as a lion, as an old lion. Who shall rouse him up? So who shall rouse up Judah? It's the Lord Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is going to rouse up you Negroes, which are the tribe of Judah. Gonna rise y'all, cause y'all the top tribe, right? Or the 12, cause the Lord Yahweh Shai, he from the tribe of Judah, He comes, through David, you right? So Yahweh Shai is gonna rise up you so-called Negroes, the tribe of Judah, and all Israel, and the rest of Israel. Israelites, and then it's time. Hey, it's time to get out there accountability, man. It's time to, it's time of war, man. It's time, ain't no time to be comfortable, And so I'm gonna get that word. Rouse up. Just a simple Google search. So play
Rouse.
So rouse. So Google saw rouse. Hold up. They didn't. I know. They didn't. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me see. They had it. See. This okay, but it's not the one I just saw. They had like a good. Let me see something. Okay, well, I guess I just read it. So arouse. Rouse is primarily a verb that means to awaken from sleep or to provoke someone or something into action. You know, so that's a good one. So that's what Loy Al Shah is gonna do. You know, he's gonna rise you Negroes up to get up. No more being comfortable. Know what's going on. Hey, the Edomite devils, they coming for you. They coming. It's red devil. Hey, get up. Y'all shots from provoke Judah, into action. No time being comfortable no more. Rise up, Judah. It's time, It's time. It's wartime. Ain't no time of peace, love, having fun right now. But I just want to go and get that one. So I'm get another scripture real quick. I'm not gonna make this too long. So these Edomite devils, hey, they know they gonna come, do what they got. They're gonna come at Jake and try, terrorize Jake and this and that, and and then whatever, but they not gonna prevail, cause like I say, the Israelites, so-called Negro Latinos, which are Israelites, Loy Al Shah is gonna be with the elect, but Israel in general and all is stronger, and just more better than the Edomites, so they could try to come, fight us, but they're not gonna win win the bout. They're not gonna win. They ain't gonna win. They're not gonna prevail. And I say Loy Al Shah, eventually I say Loy Al Shah, he's gonna be the one to really bring down these so-called white people, Esau, Edomite devils out of the power seat. Cause there's gotta be a higher power to come deliver the Israelites, the elect, for the most part. In these times, cause 2/3 Israelites not gonna make it. On this side, on this side in these times. But you're gonna have the elect, Loy Al Shah gonna have mercy and preserve, and the elect gonna have, gonna be okay. Loy Al Shah gonna make sure the elect, gonna make ways to escape out of situations. The time, we in the beginning of the time, Jacob's trouble, it's gonna escalate and get worse. But Loy Al Shah gonna make a way for his elect to be okay, and be protected. And these Edomite devils, they can, do whatever they try to do, but they're not gonna prevail. They not gonna prevail, man. They plan whatever, getting that Jake, they're gonna look bad. they're gonna look bad doing it anyway, But get Ezekiel 25, because I did not want to make this too long. 12. So Ezekiel 25:12. Thus said the Lord. Thus said the Lord power, Yahweh B'Shem Shah, because that Edom have dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended, and revenged himself upon them. So hey, you so-called Negro, you so-called white people, red Edomite devils, Edom, you Edomites, you have, taken vengeance upon Judah, which I say Judah, so-called Negroes, but Israel and Israelite, as Israel as a whole. But you coming up against, Judah, the Negroes, and the Israelites, say just Israel in general. You have greatly offended. You have done, heinous acts, to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Israelites. You have done wrong to the Lord's people. You have just you murdered and raped, robbed, and killed, you know, the Israelites. You know, you took the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites, their heritage, you know, to claim it as yours, you know, and so forth, man. You Edomite dubs got a lot to pay for, you know. You know, and like I say, you know, you trying to, you know what I'm saying, for your hatred against the Israelites, you know, because you want to be like, you know, Israel. You want to be like the Israelites. You know, you want that blessing, you know. You want, you know what I'm saying, you know, you just want to be like Israel. And so hey, too bad, you know. You should never sold your birth. You should never sold your birthright. You know. But you want to come at Jake, Israel, the Israelites, you know, because, you know, like I say, so-called Negro Latinos are like more better, you know, stronger, faster, you know, just more better overall, you know, than you. And they, you know, Jake do everything better, you know. So, Ezekiel 25:13. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, Yahweh, I will also, thus said the Lord, thus said the Lord power, Yahweh, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it. I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. So Yahweh Shah is going to, you know, stretch his hand on Edom, man. Like I said, the Lord Yahweh Shah is going to return and chariot suck out your foe. He's gonna, you know, he's gonna come down, you Edomite doubles, man. You know, for what, you know, for like what you're doing to the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are Israelites, and to this earth and so forth, man. You know. That's all I say, man. Like I say, hey, man, you Edomite doubles got a lot to pay for, man. You know. I got a lot to pay for, man. You know. But let me see something. So I didn't want to make this too long. I'm trying to, what is it doing? Hold up. So I'm in, hold up. Yeah, so I'm in off of this. Ezekiel 25:14. I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel, and they shall do in Edom according to my anger, according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, self the Lord, power Yahweh B'Shem Shah. You know. So hey, you Edomite doubles, you know, y'all gonna have to deal with that beat down. It's gonna be a beat down coming to you so-called white people, red Edomite doubles, man. About the so-called Negro Latino natives, which are the Israelites, you know. And then according to the Lord's anger, you know, it's gonna be the Lord Yahweh Shah anger on Jake, on Israel, you know, coming upon you, beating you down, you know. You're gonna have, like I say, you're gonna have men of the Lord, the apostles, and elders, brother Graham Stone, the elect men. They're gonna have spiritual power, gonna have power, you know, to you know, do things that, you know, that you never thought it could be, like something that you'll see, you know, in the movie, you know, like X-Men type power, you know, like that, you know. So hey, you eating my dubs, hey, come on, just come on with it, man. You know, it's gonna happen anyway. You know, nobody can resist the Lord's will. Y'all watch Him shot will, you know. But once y'all do, you know, hey, start coming upon Jake and making those moves upon so-called Negro Latino natives. You know, UN troops coming in or whatever. Hey, you know, just know the Lord Yahweh Shah is gonna give his men, you know, his elected men, you know, a power, you know, to get at you Edomite doubles, man, you know, with y'all plans, whatever, you know, to come at Jake. You know, when like no scripture say, you know, when they shall come in like a flood, you know, the enemy shall come in like a flood. Matter of fact, I get it. No, matter of fact, 6. So this is Isaiah 59. Oh. 59 and 19. Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh. Yahweh shall shine from the west. His glory will rise from the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard against him. So hey, when the Edomite troops come in, these racist Edomites, whatever, right? They start coming in on Jake, so-called Negro Latinos, but especially on the men of the Lord, the elect. Hey, Lord Yahweh shall gonna lift up a standard against the wicked Edomite devils, man. You can go to the word standard, is gonna make a way to escape. Lord Yahshua gonna have a way to, he gonna make way for so-called Negro Latinos, like I said, the elect. He gonna make way for the elect to escape out of those situations, and like I said, gonna be a given power, man. Like I said, to do X-Man type, things, so whether that be, it could be going invisible, superhuman strength, whatever it may be, right? So that could happen, man. It's all about believing in that. It goes to me first and foremost. If hopefully I'm probably righteous number, but the elect is gonna receive that power, man. The elect of the so-called Negro Latino is gonna get that power, man. It's all about wait upon the Lord Yahweh Shai for that, to come about, But we in those times, man. We in those times, man. We in the time of war. We not in the time of peace, man. So with that, I didn't want to make this too long. So again, I hope this was edifying. So again, I like about praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Harakah Kadash, to the apostle elders, to the Sisak and brothers, to the few Akwaf sisters that do listen, keep the faith in Yahushua, keep fighting with that. Say shalom.